That's what she had under her nail. I wonder what she has in other parts. Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we are back with another reaction to Halo. We're now onto episode 8, which is called Allegiance. So in the last episode, it was pretty much focused on Quan. We finally kind of got some resolution to the mission that she's put herself on after losing what she felt like was everything in the very beginning of the show. She finally has the answers towards why her father was working so hard to free Madrigal, why he felt like he had to stay there. And she also has understood now that there is a long line of her family actually having to be on this planet and protect this well, which apparently is a portal to different times. But to make a long story short, she is a guardian, and now she knows this, and now she knows this is why she has to stay on Madrigal and to keep certain elements from finding this well and exploiting it for the wrong reasons. She also found out that her fate is somehow tied with John's because she was, seeing him on her vision quest, and her father's spirit said to her, "Don't worry, you'll see him again." So their fates are intertwined somehow. I do think that Soren's is also wrapped up in there, although Soren has decided to say peace out for now. But I do think that the situation with the Covenant and the UNSC and whatever's going on with that well are somehow going to start pulling other parts of the galaxy into this fight. And Soren definitely has a dog in the fight in the sense of he obviously cares about Quan. We saw that in the last episode. I am glad that they got to work out their differences, but also in that I think he just wants a chance to see a different type of world now that he's got a kid, and the UNSC is not necessarily the future that he wants for him. Lots of questions still to be answered, so hopefully we'll get some answers in this episode. So let's jump right in, but before I do, you know what to do. If you've been here before, if you like what you're seeing here, please go ahead and give some love to that like button. It just, it helps a girl out with some algorithm love, which means a lot to me. And, leave some comments below, engagement. It means a lot. And I mean, honestly, I do read those comments and I do respond whenever I can. Same goes for those of you who've been here before. Thank you so much for coming back and supporting my channel. And if you haven't joined the fam already, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button. That way you can be notified when I do more reactions to this show and many others like it. All right, enough jibba jabba, guys. Let's get into episode 8 right about now. So has anyone figured out that she's got a finger laser yet? Since she's still on the ship and stuff? I'm not really about the Johnny and McKee thing. I feel like they're heading somewhere with this, but I'm not about it. I mean, I kind of get why John would feel like he can trust her more than anyone else right now, but bitch is shady. But you know what? I can't even be mad at it either because I feel like she needs to see that not all humans are as horrible as the ones that she was initially, around as a child. Maybe then she won't be so on board with the Covenant, destroying all the humans. So I gotta feel like it's for a reason, but I don't know. I'm not feeling... This is one of those series where I honestly don't think that John even needs a love interest. I'm not saying that's where they're going, but I really don't feel like we need it, honestly. At least not right now. Too much is happening right now. Reach City. It's creative with the naming.
All his systems are back to normal.
Look at you, so cheerful.
Chief's health is
I'm with him. I don't like Cortana or that other bit. Anyway, we all know he's secretly in love with Halsey anyway.
I think he's discovering what I've always suspected, that he is connected to something beyond all of us.
Don't act like you knew any of this, Halsey. You just saw a kid that was willing to risk his life for others as a kid, and that was perfect for your twisted little program. You're not that smart, sis. And if you saw what a horrible person you turned out to be, McKee. No, you don't get to kiss John. Keep going. No. No. Is Miranda watching?
Frolicking in the park.
Yes.
He finds out we were involved in a abduction.
If he did, we'd know about it.
Yeah, he's really not that good at hiding things.
Where the stars sparkle like glass, a divine wind will rush through.
Uh-huh.
Where we will become like gods.
Oh, okay.
And those who aren't worthy?
Not our problem.
There is something within us. Something special.
You don't get to have the absolute view, McKee.
Something worth protecting.
Mm-hmm. You might just be cleansed yourself since you weren't even able to get to the Halo by yourself.
She's been trained to communicate through them in a way that I still can't, but she can help us.
One stroll in the park has you convinced.
She's not buying it.
She is us, Captain. She's human.
Chief, people don't just manually override decades of indoctrination.
Thank you. That's the truest thing he said. Now, I understand what you're saying, John, but your training never really took. That's the difference. What you don't know is that McKee wasn't keen on humans before she went to them Covenant folks. Because if she truly believed humans were good, there's literally nothing they would have been able to do to convince her otherwise.
Is she fit for duty or not?
I would say she's recovering well.
Picking up some weird variant on the dialect.
Like an accent?
Like, I don't know, a Scottish or Irish accent.
Can you show me?
Okay, so I've set the noise filters to standard Sangheili.
Oh, she's so happy somebody cares about her research. One of her parents.
If anyone can figure it out, it's you.
That's right. You're shady, Dad, but I can tell at least you love your daughter. How you could have ever bred with that woman is still beyond me. But you know, men be doing foolish things like that all the time. Having a little inner conflict there, McKee. Not so easy, is it, now that you're actually seeing that not all humans are what you thought they were?
So they trust me.
You trust me. And I trust you.
You're gonna make me regret it though, aren't you?
Thank you.
I don't like it. Oh, we just jumping straight to this. But honestly, even beyond me not necessarily being a fan of this pairing, this does feel a little bit like, I don't know, I feel like we're jumping into this. Feels a little sudden. I mean, I know it's probably been a long ass time since John, if ever, but really? Like, you don't even know if she got a last name or how old she is, if she's even legal? Okay. Not Cortana watching like a pervert. Not Cortana being a voyeur. She a freak. But y'all, how jacked up would it be if they find out later on that they actually are related? You gonna use your finger laser and cut his throat now? No. Is it under your nail? No. No. No, make it stop. Yuck. Why? Ew. Damn, the trauma that this bathroom has seen. If that's what she had under her nail, I wonder what she has in other parts. Now this awkward look.
John.
We actually don't know each other. We actually haven't had any real conversations.
John is no longer alone in the galaxy.
Well, John was never alone. He had me.
Ew! No.
Of course.
Oh, are we jealous? Good.
Parangoski wants you off the planet.
Thank you!
Noon. Today.
About freaking time.
What a valuable asset you've been to the war effort, and the sooner you're up and running in your new
Come on, you
lab.
can do better than that.
Don't trust you because you're a shady bitch.
Jacob.
You're out.
You did that, but you shouldn't have warned her. You should have just put her ass on a transport.
This obsession that you have with the future has cost you every relationship that you have today.
She doesn't care, don't you see?
What else are you willing to sacrifice?
Everything.
Yeah, duh. You haven't picked that up yet? She ain't going nowhere because you gave her a heads up. I don't know why y'all don't learn that this bitch is slick yet. Anyway.
You now have Category 1 clearance. Courtesy of your daughter.
Why are you saying that like it means anything to her? She doesn't care. Cortana, if you want to be a real one, now is the time.
How do you know John?
You could say I know him better than anyone. I raised him since he was 6 years old.
Okay.
But both of your gifts are too precious for either side to claim. You two must be the ones to control the Halo with my help.
Oh, with your help. Okay.
I have a connection with John that I will never have. It's been wonderful to watch.
I need somebody to be my remote control for John because I dropped it myself. I'm hoping McKee is smarter than John was.
People abandon all reason for the sake of pride or fear or
Love.
Yeah, something you know nothing about. Sack of bones.
That's why they need us, Cortana. To save them from themselves.
She's so gross. What was that? Sound like Morse code?
I have activated the emergency Spartan back channel. This is the only way you'll receive new orders for your next mission.
Told y'all, this is why you don't tell Halsey shit.
Guys, we can't do this. You know we can't do this.
They're still in the protocol, honey. Kai, you're talking to a brick wall.
Listen carefully.
This is John we're talking about. There's no way he was
Oh no!
compromised.
Protect
There's so
Kai!
much
They're
we
gonna
don't
hurt
know. We
her.
need to find-
No. Oh, at least they didn't kill you.
What will we do when we find the Halo?
Destroy the Covenant. End the war.
And then what?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
It's a bit extreme. Come on, Miranda. Come on, girl. You know that accent.
On my signal, drop him.
Don't do it, Cortana.
30.
Halsey initiated the Zed protocol. You're walking into a trap.
What's happening?
Turn around and get out now.
Why would Cortana lie?
Agent!
I've lost everything.
Cortana, I take back everything I ever said about you. Look at her face like,
I said that she will end up doing something like this.
not him bitching.
Look for Marine. Stay with him.
No, I want to stay with you.
I need you to leave. Go.
Yeah, I stay with you, girl. We ain't that close yet.
20.
The dick wasn't that good. How did you end up here? It's one of those movies where it's like, well, you're probably wondering how I ended up here. Chained to the toilet.
Don't do this.
Dude, he's a machine. What do you expect? He did the same. You did the same. John, you're probably gonna have to hurt them very badly. You know this, right?
We're on the same side.
He was gonna kill him.
Hand me your radio. Sir.
I can't believe y'all are this dumb. I can't believe y'all have been working with all this whole damn time and not this dumb. Oh, okay, yes, Kai. Do your thing, girl. Talk your shit. This is gonna take forever, though. That's right. That's what happens. You know, emotions make you desperate. And when you're desperate, you get creative.
Left leg servo for respect. Take out his knee.
Okay, finally working together. Oh, no, not when the workouts are against you.
Accessing Warthog.
He's like, I got an upgrade. Do you see how much better it is, Cortana, when we like work together? But I like this, right? Not a takeover, just a partnership. Okay, now we're just gonna break his head? Is that what's gonna happen? The fact that it takes two of you to take him down, though, even with a helmet off, y'all need to step up. Kai, where are you? God damn, aren't you guys supposed to be faster and stuff? Yes, bitch! Oh. Do we all want to go down today?
Talk to John, he knows who I really am. When John finds out, he'll kill you himself.
He wouldn't. Don't kill her. Not again in the same spot? What is wrong with you? Oh my god. This jerk's been wanting to do it since when, though, and it makes me so sad. She doesn't deserve that, but actually she did kill a lot of people. Sorry, my guy, but you was too damn harsh. Oh, welcome back to the peaceful place. I don't know. The key about to kill up all these humans. Halsey, this is all Halsey's fault.
Goodbye, John.
Yeah. She's not the one, John. She really isn't. Don't worry, we can find you a girl that ain't crazy and, like, you know, obsessed with aliens and shit. And she gonna call all her friends too. Bye, Reach. Woo! That's how we end it, girl. Wow. All right, guys. Okay, well, this might be a quick review because my camera's saying that it's a little bit on the hot side. Hopefully, she will not shut off on me. Okay, yes, this episode was called Allegiance, and we definitely saw a lot of loyalties being tested in this episode, and understandably so. I think that for John, he still has an allegiance to humanity. I wouldn't say it's so much to the UNSC. It's definitely not to Halsey anymore, but he definitely does still have a sense of allegiance towards, he does have a sense of allegiance towards humanity and wanting to save humanity. Like, why wouldn't he have allegiance towards humanity, right? He is a human himself. And I really like that they showed when he was talking to McKee that they both had very differing experiences with humans. Like, unfortunately, in McKee's case, she saw the worst of humanity. She had a lot of trauma where they were concerned. But for John, at least for the first half of his life, he knew love and compassion and hope and kindness. Like, he literally lived like on a hipster colony, right? So it was like love and peace, man, to the extreme. So that was kind of like something that McKee probably needed the exposure to. And obviously she had more of a reason to try and trust John because, you know, of the artifact connection and the fact that she clearly had a thing for him. But it's sad that in the end, she ended up having a similar experience that brought her right back to her childhood trauma, like right in literally the same place she got her first scar from humans. That was crazy, but obviously done on purpose to show that, like, in her mind, she was starting to waver, right? John was kind of starting to crack through the decades of anger and hate that she had towards humanity. But that one moment, instigated by Halsey, shattered all of that. And so she's going to be 100% like anti-human at this point, right? She was already shady about Halsey because she was like, Halsey, I see your evil spirit. And then, of course, that hating ass guard who's been waiting for a reason to hurt her, you know, just again went overboard, did the worst. Not just him though. The fact that the other two just sat there and watched her be tortured. And I mean, that was a very that situation was not very cut and dried either, because on the one hand, she did kill an entire crew of people. She did not need to do all that. It was purely out of, you know, malice and, again, a very war-like effort. But, you know, I don't know. It's hard, right? Like, I mean, clearly the people in that moment, those actual soldiers and military people, were not going to look at this girl and think about the fact that she's slowly turning the corner and trying to help humans now, right? And the sad reality is, too, that the key shouldn't necessarily get off, so to speak, from the charges of what she did to all the people on that ship. Not to mention the fact that we just saw that a planet just got wiped out by the Covenant as well, looking for the artifact and looking for her. So it's not a simple situation. McKee is one person, and these are really hard. Like, this is a very real thing that happens in wars when you've got people who choose to defect from one side and try to help the other. You know, how much do we forgive? How much gets forgotten? Does it ever get forgiven and forgotten? Should they still pay for their crimes, or should they be absolved because they're helping the other side? These are all big moral questions and not easy to answer in one episode for sure. But yeah, sadly, it was kind of an inevitable situation. I think as long as she was there in the UNSC nest, as it were, I knew that something was probably going to push her back towards the side of the Covenant, especially when John said that they were going to use the artifact to kill them, because that's her family, right? The Covenant, in McKee's experience, much like John's, it's the reverse, right? Like, John's had a fairly good experience with humanity, generally speaking, so he's got that viewpoint, whereas McKee has had a good experience with the Covenant, so she's not necessarily ready to see them all wiped out either, because she's seen another side of them. So it's a lot of moral issues there, very debatable. Both sides have valid points, but like I said, I didn't think that there was going to be a real hope for McKee to turn over that leaf, especially with so many people who were anti-Covenant there for very good reasons, and also because her and John were not even aligned on how to use this halo if they did get to it. So yeah, like I said, I mean, there's not much else to say. I mean, yes, her and John getting together thing, I'm not about it. I knew they were leading that way after he did her whole face touching thing last time, but I just don't feel like it feels rushed. It feels weird. I don't feel, like I said, I don't think John needed this. I don't think he needed the love scene. I don't think he needed like a romantic interest. I think just the connection with McKee was enough right now, and then that could have been something they built up to if we got to know more about her. But, you know, I get it. Shows like this often want to throw in some sort of love scene or something like that for the male character. I don't know why they always feel the need to do this, but I'm not feeling it. I don't feel like it's a natural connection at all, even for her too. Like, you haven't seen a human in how long, and now you're just willing to jump into bed with one? Like, I mean, I guess initially she was maybe thinking of it as a seduce him and then use him, but then we saw that, you know, she pulled out the finger laser, basically signifying that she didn't want to hurt John anymore. But I mean, I'm also willing to say that she probably does feel things for him as well, but I also feel like it's a bit of a projection from whatever she felt for that kid that died for her years ago for reading a book. Anyways, and I think that McKee asked him a really good question towards the end, where she said, what happens if we do destroy one side? Like, if we get rid of the Covenant, then what happens? Like, where does the artifact go? Where does the halo go? Who uses it? Right? Does it automatically go to humanity? Does humanity deserve it? Like, and especially after what Halsey said, where she said that that humanity is still 10 steps behind, right? these are valid questions. Like, why does humanity deserve to be in possession of that power? Because we all know it's not going to be like John who gets to control it, right? It's going to be the UNSC, or someone's going to want to use that to their own advantage. It's never going to be just a benevolent thing. And if it's the Covenant this time, who's to say that humanity's not just going to go out further into the galaxy and just start wiping out whole species because they feel like they deserve to, right? Like, you see the slippery slope. So yeah, a lot of deeper moral questions in this episode that were tackled, but I mean, we didn't really necessarily get deep into them, but enough to understand why McKee could not fully get on board, and also enough for John to hopefully start realizing he's got to think deeper about this whole artifact / Halo situation and the responsibility that it's really bringing, and also the levels that people are going to go to get control of this Halo, or people who can access the Halo. Hi, Halsey. Hi, I'm willing to sacrifice everybody on Reach to get this damn technology. I'm not going to get too much into Halsey because I've already ranted about her. I've already talked about it. Nothing has changed. She's still a narcissist. She has still got a lot of issues, and she is, as you saw, she was willing to do the absolute worst and has been planning on turning her back on the UNSC and humanity for a long ass time because she knew at some point they'd catch on to her bullshit. But anyhow, we'll have to see what happens with her. I don't know if she's going to end up, I feel like she's going to let herself be recaptured. Or actually, she's going to have to because the artifact has been activated. But we'll see what happens next. Like, we already know Halsey's got backup plans within backup plans, but what she did not account for was Cortana. I shouldn't say she didn't account for it, because we saw that her assistant was like, I told you she could do this. So she must have known, but I think she was hoping it didn't happen. But also the scientist in her would not have wanted to limit Cortana, especially since it was modeled after her. So I kind of like that Cortana did exactly what Halsey would have done and bucked the system and is working with John for the first time. And I said this a few episodes ago that this is the most ideal situation if she's stuck in John's head forever, that they can work together as a symbiote and not like a parasite. So hopefully this is going to be good news for them going forward. I feel bad for the other two Spartans who are still not with the Real Feelings program, but we'll see what happens now, because I feel like after this, you know, even the Spartans trusting Halsey might potentially be compromised. We saw that Riz wasn't able to take the shot, so that's a good thing. But yes, thank God Kai is back. Kai is on board now, and her and John are definitely going to be solid allies as far as not falling under any of the things that Halsey had planned for them anymore. And then, of course, we had at the very last part there, Miranda figuring out that McKee was indeed the spy. I mean, it was a little too late, and I mean, it didn't really help anything at that point, but I do like that she at least got through doing what she was trying to do, and at least now she knows kind of how to decipher the language, which was a huge barrier for them before. So I feel like it's going to end up being something that they're going to use to track McKee, because obviously John's not ready to let go of her. I mean, there's still a connection there for him and McKee, but I do think fundamentally there's no way the two of them can stay together, because I don't think McKee's going to ever trust humanity again after this. Like, I think this was a precipice for her, and it got pushed to the wrong direction. So, good episode, but kind of sad as far as some of the turnouts. We'll have to see how it's going to go. Like, I can't think we have much left in it. I think we only have 10 episodes this season, but don't quote me on that. But I'm very curious to see if we're going to top off this season and where we're going to end up, because we're definitely getting to a point where an impasse is going to happen. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up, and we will see you in the next video.